joined by Christina and Julien, both in similar roles at the company, but both with very different experiences. Christina, perhaps we can start with you and just share a little bit about your background. It's happy 21st birthday for you. You've been there for 21 years. Tell me a bit about what it was like 21 years ago when you first got there.
So I started with Microart as a receptionist. At the time, there may have been 6 or 7 people. I started, like I said, as a receptionist. I would do deliveries of photo plottings and to the board shops, and package if we needed to ship anything out the door. It was definitely a way smaller company when I had started.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what were the kind of big milestones? I mean, you've grown to quite a substantial business now. When did you see the biggest changes?
I'd have to say when we bought the assembly house that had 2 surface mount machines and the employees that came with it. So I was here when that happened, and that's when we really started kind of branching out to PCBAs. And
did that see much of a change in your role when that happened, or had that already started to change?
I stayed as a receptionist for a couple of years, and then I moved to administration, accounting, and I've been a project manager for about 13 years now, but a project manager team lead for 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've moved. Things have changed with our system, so what I worked on 15 years ago is not the same as today, but
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously things do change in terms of technology and what's available to you, but also what the business is doing has changed quite a lot in that time. Was that a deliberate change or deliberate career path on your part, or did you just try every job in the factory until you found one you liked?
No, actually, I just was promoted and the positions were opened. And again, because we were small and growing, Microart had given me the chance to grow in different departments and become, dabble in every department that I had touched.
Yeah.
I kind of grew up here, so
yeah,
this
absolutely.
is like my family. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. And Julien, you're a pretty new member to the family.
I am, yes. So I'm going into almost a year now with Microart.
Okay. And what were you doing before you joined?
I was in HR, different capacity, more consultative, individual contributor, just learning the ropes in terms of what HR has to offer, and pretty much doing my tour of duty in every area. So this opportunity came up, and I just thought it was fantastic to kind of create something entirely new for this business. It's been quite the journey so far.
Yeah. So tell me a bit about that. What kind of originally attracted you to Microart? What was it that you liked, that you saw?
Yeah, I think the company is a really exciting point right now, and I think lots of new things on the go. And I think for us, it was even during the interview was we could be in a completely different spot a year from now. In a very positive light. And for me, it was just wow, there's so much growth that can be happening, and so many things that can happen, and I can be part of that change directly, and getting the chance to directly affect some 300 employees through initiatives that you create, policies that you develop is quite a unique opportunity. So for me, I jumped at that.
Yeah, no, it's exciting, isn't it? And Christina, from your point of view, it wasn't a question of being recruited, but it was a question of staying with Microart. And you say they're your family, but some families are pretty dysfunctional and quite hard to live with and work with. Obviously, Microart are not. And you've gone from the 6 people that were there 21 years ago to close to 300. That's kind of a 50x growth. What is it that you really enjoy about or have continued to enjoy about being part of the Microart family?
It's exactly that. We do have our moments. I will, I won't deny that, but we really do support each other. Um, when somebody is hurting here in our factory or they're going through something, we are there with one another.
Yeah.
Again, in the factory here, all of our employees have also seen me grow. So I've gotten married here. I've had my children. I've been pregnant here, and
Wow.
just this year, my daughter was working here for the summer. So they've all experienced that with me in the last, 15 years, 17 years. So.
Yeah, and that camaraderie is huge in any business, but the last 2 years it's been more important than ever. It emotionally, psychologically,
Absolutely.
it's been pretty tough to be in the workplace during that time. And because you're in an essential service, people are coming in, there's constantly changes in regulations. I do Zoom calls with people, and 1 week they're wearing masks, the next week they're not. Or 1 week they're at home, next week they're in the office. It's been a pretty challenging time. How have the Microart team kind of helped each other through that?
Yeah, I think for us it's been everyone has been really really good in terms of respecting the rules, and I think everyone is really on the same agenda in terms of keeping things safe. So for me, it's been very easy in terms of creating policies, protocols, and ensuring that people follow it, because they care about their own safety, they care about the safety of their workers, and going back to what Christina was saying, people care for each other here. So that has not been an issue for us at all. And I think for us, it's just when this is going to end, when we can go back to normal and start to enjoy the things that we used to enjoy before, and with our coworkers and family and our friends as well. So we're really anxious to start that again.
Yeah, so to get back to that. And Christina, was there plenty of kind of people checking in with each other, particularly when there was a bit of work from home? I guess as a project manager, you need to be in the factory some of the time, but you can do some of the work from home when you're liaising with customers. Was there plenty of opportunity to kind of have a virtual check-in with people, or pick up the phone, or just say, hey, how are you? Or I'm struggling with this.
Yeah, so the project manager department, we spaced ourselves out, so we did not leave the building. But the departments that did, we were constantly in contact with our instant messages through our teams, and just still staying connected because the work still needed to be done. So as well, right? But we try to keep morale up, and whether we at the time, before COVID, we would have donuts and treats. Well, we changed that with prepackaged treats, and again, just trying to keep the morale up here in our factory, because COVID has really affected everyone.
Yeah, everyone and everything. And I think maintaining team spirit through it is really what seems to have set those companies apart that have successfully navigated through. It's been very difficult. Julien, from a point of view of the HR side of the business, is that culture something that you've kind of sunk your teeth into and really started to develop within Microart? Obviously, there's a really strong family team atmosphere there. How do you maintain and promote that when you get a family of 300 plus?
Yeah, it's a balancing act. And for us, I mean, it's really honoring the past legacy of Microart, and also embracing the new with what's the next chapter of this company. And it's always a challenge, because always people are going to have different views. But I think for us, it's just aligning along common goals and making sure that we're all doing this for the benefit of the company and for all employees. And just all of our discussions. We've had people leader training recently, and just getting people excited about the things we can do for the business and what we can do for all people. And I think that's what we're getting at right now. So common goals for the business, for individuals, and really part of my job is how do we get there with the help of our people leaders. So my work that's going to be continuing for the next few years.
Yeah, and Christina, training is a big part of it. You've obviously learned a lot of different skills as you've worked your way up through the company. Is that something that you really value, that kind of career development and that continued career development as you carry on with Microart?
Absolutely. I mean, being able to learn more, and that's training that Julien was mentioning was great because it helps you understand the way other people's personalities work. And as a leader, how can I help them grow? So it was a great course that we took, and looking forward to taking more with the leaders here at Microart Services, and again continuing to have that camaraderie and that family-oriented growth, really.
Yeah, and actually you sharing the growth experience you've had with the team that you now manage is fantastic, because anybody coming in as a new project manager will be able to see what you've achieved. And Julien, those positive role models are really important as you recruit. We talk a lot about getting diversity in the workplace and making sure particularly girls find their way into STEM education and STEM careers. And Christine's a great example to be able to show them as a role model and what they can achieve. Is that something that is important as you look to the newest of the recruits to Microart?
Yeah, and I think for us, hiring has changed completely since the pandemic started. And I think we've got to really go back to whiteboard and going, what else can we do to get the new talent? The expectations are very different now from even maybe 2 years ago, and we got to adjust to it. And I think for us, it's really a matter of going outside the box and finding those diamonds, candidates out there that may not exactly at the surface have the typical profile, but as we have experienced people here and seeing what they bring to the table through interviews, that they are in fact the right fit for the roles that we're looking for. So, and this has been kind of a trial and error throughout this experience. But I think for us, we're definitely getting better at it. And I think for us, even for hiring managers, as Christina knows, through interview rounds, things like that, it's trial and error. We're trying a few things, seeing what's out there, and seeing in our approaches what questions to ask and what results we can get. And I think for us, it's been a very good experience so far. And that's all we can do, really, seeing what's out there and trying things out.
Yeah, and continue to find more talented people, bring them into the family, and get them trained up and developed. That's exactly what you need to do. Christina, Julien, thanks so much for talking to me today. It's really, really interesting. Christina, another 21 years, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I will. We'll see.
You'll stick around for the foreseeable future.
I do plan to continue growing here, so absolutely.
That's great. Okay. Well, thanks very much for your time, guys. All the best, and we'll chat again soon. Thank you.